Coach, how important was that just to have Texas Tech come to Abilene? And it had been a couple years since they had come to play ACU. How important was that just to have a big program come here?
We have a home and away series with them every year, and so it wasn't anything new or anything special, really. We go to them one year, they come to us the next year, and that's just what we've been doing since I've taken over the program. I think it was a good gauge of us to where we need to be. I think we competed really hard with them the first set and then lost a little confidence through set, and really in set 3 didn't really compete the way we wanted to compete. But I think it's exciting to have a big physical team in our gym. It also prepares us for what we're going to see in conference. I know a lot of the teams within the WAC right now are playing Power 5s, and so we're going to do the same thing to prepare with the best competition that we're going to be in conference. And so we turn around and we do the same thing home and away with Oklahoma. We're starting that this year, and so we'll go to them this year, and next year they'll come to us. But really it was a good gauge to see where we were at physically, what we needed to do. Test some more lineups, and to have some kids coming off the bench was a good experience for us last night.
In terms of playing programs like that, how important is that for you guys and your program as a whole in terms of recruiting, exposure, in terms of just, once again, continuing to get a gauge on where you guys are and how you guys can continue to develop?
I think it's important. Whether you win or lose, it's important. I think, Tech has been building their program, and they're doing a really good job. They're doing it in a different style than we are. They have quite a few transfers that are coming from very large Power 5, top 25 programs. They have 7 out of their 21 kids that are all big Power 5 transfers, and most of them are competing for them. And so I think we're doing it differently. We have more freshmen and younger players and we're thinking about more developing our players from freshman to the senior year. But I think it's important to play better teams. I think it's important because if we're going to put ourselves in the way that we want to get into the conference tournament, to push to be in the NCAA, those are the teams we will be playing first round. And if you've never seen someone in your gym or in their gym like that, it's going to be harder to compete when it really matters in the NCAA tournament. And so strategically, I want to schedule in a way where we have a good balance of teams that are very similar to us, teams that I hope that we can beat, and that we're better at, but then play teams that are maybe on that next step, and we know that we're always pushing to go to that next step, but preparing our team, our staff, everybody to see what it would look like when we were in the first round of the NCAA tournament. That's the level of play we need to be at by the end of the season in November.
In terms of the development of chemistry, development of the players in general, and just how you guys, once again, run your program, how much do you think your team has gotten from this past set against Tech, also, which in general with just all the other programs you're going to be playing moving forward?
I think it's experience, learning and taking an experience and saying, you know what, that was over. Maybe it didn't go the way we wanted it to, but why? And talking through it, watching video, really being real with ourselves about why it didn't go the way we wanted it to, and then preparing, like we were already in the office this morning watching video and preparing for UNM and preparing for practice this afternoon, and what does it look like to reset and refocus, but just using every opportunity for learning experience. And I think for us, the biggest thing is, how do we respond to adversity? And we had adversity in this past weekend, but adversity that was just maybe out of our grasp. And so what do we do when we're in that situation? We have to regroup. We have to make sure that we stick to our style of play, and then play with confidence and take confidence from what we do in our gym. Trust our style of training and our play. Trust that we had a great weekend against 2 quality teams and gain confidence from that. And I think we were forgetting that a little bit last night, that we are a talented team. Tech is a great team, and we are a talented team also, but just remembering that in the moment.
Awesome, Coach. Thank you.
Yeah.
Coach, yesterday during that third set, timeout was called late. And what do you try to tell your players in a situation like that, where it's late in the game, it's not looking great, and you're in that huddle? What are you trying to tell them?
Just kind of what I just said. Just let's remember what we need to be doing in the moment. Separate reps. Be your best self right now. Communicate in the right way. Make sure we're having productive communication on the court. Make sure that we're sticking to some of the small scout things that we had for last night, and that we're not getting outside ourselves with some of those things. But mainly it's just regrouping. There was opportunities I felt like that we looked really great and really physical and made some great plays, and just remembering those, and let's do those more often. And why aren't we doing, again, communication, like why aren't we doing this more often? Let's play choose some different play calls or whatever that is. But basically it's communication and preparing and resetting during those timeouts.
And then this past weekend, Lindsey Toney played amazingly. And what can that do for a team as a whole when you have someone playing on that level consistently through those 2 games y'all played in the last weekend?
You know, we really look to Lindsay to do that for us quite a bit. She did have a phenomenal weekend for us. She led NCAA in kills per set and points scored through the weekend. And so she had a really great set 1 for us last night, and I think as things weren't going as well as she thought they might, it was kind of hard, and it started to compound one after another. And so I actually called a timeout, and I talked to her individually, like, okay, how can we reset and get you back to where you're at and focus on what you can do versus what you can. And so for us, it's just that. She's never been in such a big role within our program. I think it's about learning and getting better and getting more experience in that larger role, but I think she'll do a great job of it, and we're really excited to have her within our program and excelling and seeing the success early.
And then a big weekend ahead of us, three games in a row. What are you looking for this weekend, I guess, particularly from the team?
I really think it'll be kind of what we thought this last weekend. Can we play our style of play? Can we focus on us a little more? UNM comes in 3-0. They had a good weekend out in California. Green Bay's a good physical team. And then I don't know a lot about Texas Southern, but I think we're going to be challenged in a good way. I think it'll be an opportunity to get some different lineup in there. We have Andy Shepard, who wasn't healthy and able to play this past weekend, who's going to be able to get on the court. Last night we saw some people come in and spot serve and do some things, and they did a really good job. And so it's about being us, getting some people some more experience and seeing what lineup's going to be working as we continue through the season.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
I know you would not play in Moody until next fall, but I've heard that you guys, you like playing in T because it's a smaller venue. The crowd, you hear the noise a little bit more. What's it been like to play in Teague?
I think we lose some things with the game day experience in Moody, but I do think, anybody, if you have 1,000 seats and you have 800 people in there, it's going to be really loud. And so that is fun and it's exciting. But I think if we had that same 800 to 1,000 people close down to the floor, we're not going to lose it that much in Moody. But the game day experience is going to be phenomenal in there. I mean, the video boards, the things that we're going to be able to do with lighting and game day promotion and all the different things. And so I think we have some of that lost in Teague, but I do think it's a fun environment. Even if I think we had 500 and something on last Friday night, and that was a loud environment, so that's fun. I think there's pros and cons to both, and so, but we're excited for Moody. We're excited to get in there and compete, and I think it gives us an advantage recruiting, but I also think it just gives our players a great place for them with the team lounge, the locker room, having a video room just for us. I think it helps us elevate how we prepare for matches and rest and recover and fuel throughout the day, and so overall that's going to be something great for us, and so we're just anticipating and waiting patiently for that to happen.
Thank you, Coach.
Good.
Appreciate it.
Okay,
Thank you
thanks.
so much.